Hey there, I'm Mary Sheila Gonnella of Occidental Nutrition, and welcome to my kitchen where I'm going to be making some lunch for us busy podcasters. All right, so today I'm going to make some lunch and I'm going to use some leftovers. I made a Indian butter chicken that I'm going to warm up, and I'm going to make a salad, and I'm going to do a mixture of cauliflower and rice and regular rice. So I'm going to make cauliflower rice and mix it in with some regular rice. So I'll just get this warming up. And this was the first time I made this recipe. It was in my Instapot and it came out really good. I'm excited. All right, so I'm going to warm that up. Okay, I'm gonna get going on my salad, and I'm gonna do something a little bit different today. So I'm gonna warm up a small cast iron pan with no oil, and I'm gonna toast some fennel seeds. And I'm gonna toast them briefly, and then I'm going to put them in my little mortar and pestle and just grind them up a little bit. Then I'm gonna toast some sunflower seeds, combine them together, so that's going to go on top of my salad. I'm going to have toasted sunflower fennel seeds, yum. And I'm going to supreme an orange. This is the car orange. So let's get started with the salad. I have some arugula, and I did not grow this arugula, but it's really nice arugula. It comes like this, and I usually say, well, there's one serving and there's 2 servings. So that's about, for 2 people, a little extra for extra measure. That just helps me so I don't waste my lettuce. So I've got my arugula. Next, I'm going to cut a little bit of fennel. I love fennel. And I don't need that much. So what I'm gonna do is just take a little piece off the edge. If I've got a little bit of the stem, I'm gonna cut that out. And fennel is a beautiful, wonderful, crisp, winter vegetable that's very cooling and just so satisfying. Adds a nice sweetness to a salad. And I'm just going to very thinly slice my fennel to go onto my salad. The thinner the better. So it's good to have a little patience here with yourself, and it really helps to have a nice sharp knife, I have to say. I am very into a sharp knife, and sometimes when I travel by car, I will bring a sharp knife. So I've got my little fennel pieces. I'm gonna put them in my salad. And meanwhile, my pan is pretty warm, so I'm gonna switch gears for just a moment, and I am going to toast about a teaspoon of fennel seeds. And I'm not gonna toast them for long, so I'm not gonna multitask while these guys are toasting, because I don't want to burn my seeds. What I'm really doing when I toast these seeds is I'm just kind of waking them up a little bit. I'm just getting their oils activated. So I've got that going. I might turn my heat back up. And a lot of times I do this until I get their nice smell going. And as soon as I start to smell them, I'm gonna take them off the heat. Okay. I got a little aroma. I can see them just a little bit brown. Let's see. Just gonna pull that there. Then what I'm gonna do while my pan is hot, still with no oil, I'm going to add some sunflower seeds. I'm gonna use all of them. It's about a cup. And part of why I'm doing a cup is because I don't think I'll put all of these on my salad, but I'd like to have them around so I can have them again tonight with my salad tonight, or maybe tomorrow. They're just a nice thing to have around. So back to my salad, I've got my orange, and this is winter citrus season. And these are car oranges, which are some kind of combination between like a grapefruit / maybe blood orange and orange, and they're delicious. I love this. One of my favorite things about winter. Look at the beautiful skin. So what I do is I take and I cut off each end, okay? Now what I'm gonna do, and this is called supreming, and I am multitasking, so I gotta come over and check in on my sunflower seeds real quick. Give them a little toss. I can smell them start to toast. I don't wanna brown them too much. I just wanna get them going a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and see that I just have a little bit there, but I'm just getting all the white out right on that edge. Going all the way around. And then now I've got my my orange. What I'm going to do now is section it out. This just makes the orange very tender, which is really wonderful when you're eating it. It's not as fibrous, and I'm going to just take out the slices. Isn't that nice? You'll see this a lot in salads. Sometimes even desserts will ask you to do this. It's just another variation, and it just makes the mouth feel really nice and soft. I think it's perfect for salads. And I'm just going to go, and basically what I'm doing is I'm going around to the edge of each segment, and I'm just pulling out just the segment and leaving the excess fiber. I mean, I know I'm a fiber girl, but this still is one way to enjoy these. All right, these are nice big segments in this orange actually. Oops, I think that one kind of, if I mess up, sometimes I'll just cut it in half a little bit. Okay, so there I have that. Now, this can be used in my dressing. Okay, my seeds, I'm definitely multitasking this meal, are looking pretty good. I am going to turn off the heat. Now what I'm going to do with my fennel seeds is I'm just going to come in here and grind them up a little bit. Make them a little bit more powdery and smaller. My heat is off over here. They're still toasting because they're still in the pan, but the heat is off. My fennel seeds are breaking down. I can really smell them now that I'm doing this and they're broken down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them back in here. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. And then I'm just going to toss that. So now I've got the fennel, the olive oil, the heat is off, sunflower seeds toasted, and then I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Just a little pinch, maybe even 2 pinches. Now I have these amazing toasted sunflower seeds with fennel and salt, a little olive oil, and that's going to be what I'm going to top my salad with. Yum. Okay, I'm going to make a quick salad dressing for my salad, and I love making it different ways, but in a jar is so quick and easy. So I am going to take the citrus that I just supremed and bring that into my bowl to start. And honestly, after I do this, a lot of times I still end up eating this part because it's so good. So I'll just put that to the side and do that later. And I'm going to take a lemon and I'm going to juice that into my jar as well. And I'm going to use a little bit of mustard. Mustard in a salad dressing really helps to hold everything together. And I love this grainy mustard. So about a teaspoon, or maybe a little less. A little bit of red wine vinegar. You can use any kind of vinegar. I just started using the red wine vinegar and it's just been it's just nice and kind of subtle. It's really nice. So now I even have this nice color. And then I'm just going to add the olive oil. And you can do probably like 2/3 oil and then 1/3 of the other stuff. And I always love to put a little salt and pepper in my dressing. So I'm just going to do a little pinch of the salt and a little bit of black pepper, which needs to be refilled. It's got a little bit in there. Okay, and then what makes making a jar of dressing so simple is all you really have to do is throw a lid on it and shake it. And you have a nice salad dressing. And you might have a nice salad dressing for a few days because you just made enough. This is enough for a couple days. So now I've got my salad dressing. I've got my lettuce and fennel and citrus there. And then what I can do is take my seeds and sprinkle those on top. And actually I'll do a few now, and then I'll do a few more before I serve this. All right, so while I've got my Indian curry cooking, I'm gonna make some rice. And what I did is I grated some cauliflower to make a cauliflower rice. I also have a little bit of real rice that I cooked the other night, so I thought I would mix it in together so it kind of lightens up the carbs in a meal, but you still get some. So I'm going to actually, since this is already cooked, I'm just going to mix it in here in my bowl. Turn my stove on and just mix that up together. I like to add a little olive oil now in my bowl just to get it kind of mixed. And I'll add a little salt and a little garlic. You can season and flavor your cauliflower rice any way that you want, any herbs and spices, but since this is going to be the base of an Indian curry, I feel like I want to just let the Indian spices that I used in my curry to do their thing. So I'm just going to take out the garlic and just chop that up. Oh, and I have, the other day, somebody gave me a bunch of little mandarins. And I actually shared the picture of it because they were so beautiful on Instagram. And one of my foodie friends said, you should make a ferment. And I did. So I made a ferment with cabbage and ginger. I chopped those up together. I blended them with salt and I pounded them. And then once they were soft and wet and watery, I added my mandarins. And what I did with my mandarins is I'm going to use one of my little tools just because I want this to really infuse into the flavor of the cauliflower rice. I'm going to use my little masher and just mash the garlic in there. But what I did with my mandarins is I peeled them and then I cut them in half, and then I cut them in half so I could pull off the seeds because the seeds would have made it too bitter. And I got the seeds out, and then I put all the peeled seeded mandarins in my Cuisinart and blended it to make kind of a slurry. And then I added it to my kraut base of cabbage and ginger and salt that was already mashed, and I mixed it all together, and then it filled up a jar. So this is my kraut. It's only 3 days old, so it's not probably ripe enough, but I think it's ripe enough for our lunch. All right, so I'm just mixing the garlic in there, and that just saved me a little bit of time of chopping the garlic. Saved you a little time too. Okay, and then I'm going to give this a little bit of salt. I can't remember if I already did that or not. Oops. And my pan is pretty warm. This would be great with the sunflower seeds too. And I'm just going to cook this, but I don't need to cook it for too long. My pan is talking to me, that's a good thing. Now I'm going to try to just let this be instead of just starting right away, stirring. That way I'll get a little bit of a seal, maybe a little bit of caramelization, and it'll cook faster. The more you move it around with your tools, the slower the cook time is going to be. And since this is a lunch, you know, it was really convenient for me to use leftovers and then just have to heat up something and make a salad. So I'm still taking time to do this, but I'm also not It's not taking me a really long time to make a meal like this for lunch. And again, I'm just gonna let it sit. I can definitely smell it, and you can go as long as you want with cauliflower rice. You can make it a little more al dente, or you can make it a little softer. I'll probably go somewhere in between the two. And what I'll do first while I'm waiting is just get the salad going and plate the salad. So I've got my salad with all my ingredients, and I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of dressing on top. And I didn't use much, so I've got dressing for the next few salads. Just gonna give it a nice toss. And I always prefer a tossed salad to like tossing it on your plate, because you really want to get everybody happy, all the greens happy, rather than just having somebody have to toss it on their plate. And then what I'll do is I will plate my salads. Salad for two, please. And then what I'll do is I'll add a little bit more of the sunflower seeds, because I only added a couple. By putting them on at the end, they will be nice and crisp, and they'll still have a lot of texture, and we'll still really get to taste them and their crispness, and they'll be perfect. So there's a nice handful. And again, I'll have more of these. I can keep these once they cool down, I can put them in a mason jar and keep them out. I don't have to put them in the fridge or anything. And I'll try to use them within like a week or two, but knowing me, they'll probably be gone in a few days. Now I've got my cauliflower rice, and maybe I want to taste it just to see if it's done. It's still a little al dente, and I kind of like it like that. So I'm going to turn that off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate my cauliflower rice. Or I guess I should say bowl it, because I am going to put it in a nice bowl. And then I am going to go over to my Indian butter chicken. There's lots of these recipes online. A friend of mine told me about this a while ago, and I finally made it. And go ahead and just cover my cauliflower rice. Yum. We're very excited. I'm hungry. And then, as a condiment, I'm going to put a little bit of the ferment in here as well. So we'll try a little of the ferment, but we'll keep it on the side so we can really taste it. And we'll let you know how good it is. All right, so here we have Indian butter chicken over cauliflower and jade pearl rice, citrus, fennel, arugula salad with toasted pumpkin seed fennel sunflower seeds, and a little bit of kraut as a condiment on the side that can be added in here. Just taste and see where we want to add it. And that is our podcaster's lunch today. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen.